Jacob Yoder set a coffee tin under his downspout on a Tuesday morning in February. Outside Strasburg, Lancaster County, the ground was frozen solid, but the water was free. He paid nothing for the 340 gallons his roof collected that month, not 1 cent. A single inch of rain on a 1,000 square foot roof gives you 620 gallons. Free water, right from the sky. A research team in Brazil found rooftop collection could replace 92% of a household's water needs. 92%. The Amish have known this for 200 years. Communities in the Negev desert knew it 4,000 years ago. This works with $2.40 worth of PVC pipe and a barrel most people already own. The state of Colorado once made it fully illegal, not restricted. Illegal. One man in Oregon collected 13 million gallons on his own land. They put him in jail. The water utility industry collected $61.8 billion in a single year. Selling you something that falls free from every cloud, your combined water and sewer bill has gone up 24% in the last 5 years alone. What Jacob knows and what our grandparents knew is simple. You do not need permission to catch what God sends down. Stay with us, because what they did to stop this from spreading is the part they hoped you would never hear about. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss what we share. Now let us talk about what the scientists found when they finally looked at this. A roof is a collection surface. That is all it is. When rain falls on your 1,200 square foot roof, gravity and slope do the rest. 1 inch of rainfall yields 744 gallons from that single surface. The University of North Carolina School of Law published a full journal examining rooftop rainwater collection and water rights law. Their researchers found that Colorado's own hydrological study showed only 3% of rainwater actually reached a stream or groundwater. 3%. Therefore, the argument that your rooftop barrel harms someone downstream was built on almost nothing solid at all. That Brazilian research team modeled real homes with real rainfall data. Their study showed that properly sized rooftop systems could offset 92% of household water needs. Not 5%, not 20%, 92%. Penn State University's College of Agricultural Sciences published full guidance on rooftop systems. Their data confirmed that uncontaminated collected rainwater filtered through a basic mesh screen is safe for irrigation, livestock watering, laundry, and toilet flushing. No treatment required for those uses. Think of it plainly. Rain falls on your roof the same way it falls on a meadow. The meadow absorbs it. You let yours run into the gutter and out to the street. A piece of 3-inch PVC pipe and a simple Y connector change that entirely. The piece most people miss is the first flush diverter. The first water off your roof carries roof dust, bird droppings, and debris from the last dry weeks. A short vertical section of PVC pipe holds that first flush away from your collection barrel. A floating ball inside the pipe rises as it fills. When the pipe reaches capacity, the ball seals the inlet. Clean water diverts into your barrel from that point forward. A 3-inch PVC first flush diverter costs $2.40 in parts at any hardware store, but the science on water quality goes further back than any laboratory. Early American settlers in the 16th and 17th centuries documented the difference between well water and rainwater. They invented the terms hard water and soft water because of it. The soap worked differently, the laundry came out cleaner, they understood without a degree what Penn State later confirmed with one. Therefore, the technical case for this system is not new. It is documented, reviewed, and published at major universities. What happened to this knowledge after that is a different story entirely. But what our great-grandmothers did with this 200 years ago makes the laboratory look like it arrived very late to the barn. The Levant region of Southwest Asia was doing this in the year 4000 BC, not 400 years ago, 4,000 years before Christ. Farmers in what is now Israel and Jordan built waterproof lime plaster cisterns directly into the floors of their houses. Every rooftop was a collection surface. Every family managed its own supply. In the Indus Valley of ancient India, around 2000 BC, entire cities cut enormous vats into the bedrock. The streets were graded to channel rain. The whole city was engineered around catching what fell from the sky. No central authority, no monthly invoice. Every household held its own water. Far across the ocean, the Mayan civilization built structures called chultuns, bottle-shaped underground chambers lined with waterproof plaster, narrow openings at the top to reduce evaporation, wide storage chambers below. Communities in what is now Mexico and Guatemala survived in regions with no rivers, no wells, no permanent springs. They survived because of those chambers, cut by hand into limestone with stone tools generations before Rome was a city, and then Rome. The city of Pompeii had terracotta pipes running from every rooftop down into household cisterns below the floor, drinking water, washing water, water for the courtyard garden. This was not unusual in Pompeii. This was standard. Every home was built this way. The rooftop was infrastructure. In the Ottoman period, the city of Istanbul held hundreds of underground cisterns beneath its streets. The largest, known now as the Basilica Cistern, covered a space larger than most cathedrals. 80,000 cubic meters of water, all collected, all free to the households above. For thousands of years, on every continent, this was common knowledge. Neighbors shared their cistern plans freely. Fathers built these systems for their sons. Communities pooled their understanding the way they pooled their labor at harvest time. And then the water companies arrived, and the meters were installed, and everything changed. We gathered everything the water companies do not want leaving these communities. Hand-drawn diagrams for a simple PVC roof diverter, step-by-step guides for sizing your barrel to your roof and your local rainfall average, instructions for building a first flush diverter with $3 in hardware, a plain guide for filtering collected water for indoor non-potable use, and a state-by-state reference for your current legal standing before you build. The link is in the description, but stay, because what comes next is the part they are most afraid of. American Waterworks Company runs the largest publicly traded water utility in the United States. In 2023, they reported $4.2 billion in operating revenue. They serve 3.5 million customers across 24 states. Their 10-year capital plan is $42 billion. $42 billion in infrastructure designed to send a bill to your door every month for the next 40 years. The global water utility services market was valued at $72.86 billion in 2024. It is projected to reach $108 billion by 2034. But you cannot build that kind of business around something that falls free from every cloud. You cannot create a recurring invoice for water that lands on your roof at no charge. You cannot run a billing department against gravity and a downspout. Therefore, what cannot generate recurring revenue must be managed, licensed, permitted, registered, or if possible, made illegal. Colorado once made rooftop collection fully illegal, not volume limited, illegal. They reversed this only in 2016 under House Bill 161005. But even now, Colorado residents may collect no more than 110 gallons total at any one time. 110 gallons. A single inch of rain on a standard roof produces 6 times that amount in an hour. Utah requires registration for any system holding more than 100 gallons. The registration is free, but it is registration, your name, your address, your system, on a list. In Oregon, a man named Gary Harrington collected rainwater in 3 reservoirs on his own land. 13 million gallons, his own property, his own rain. They charged him with 9 misdemeanors and sent him to jail for 30 days. Now close your eyes for just a moment. Imagine a house with no water meter mounted to the wall. No bill arriving on the 15th? The sound of rain on the metal roof is not a reminder that something costs money, it is just rain. The barrel in the yard fills quietly through the night. The garden does not need the utility company to allow it to grow. The chickens drink without anyone's permission. The laundry soaks in water that costs nothing and contains nothing, that was added by a treatment plant. That is not a fantasy. That is a Tuesday morning in Strasburg, Lancaster County. That is Jacob Yoder with a coffee tin under his downspout. Now, I want to be plain with you. This system has real limits. You need to know them before you build. First, rooftop rainwater is not safe for drinking without proper filtration. Even clean-looking roofs carry mineral residue, dried debris, and bird droppings from the dry weeks before a rain. For irrigation, laundry, livestock watering, and toilet flushing, it is generally safe without treatment. For drinking, you need a multi-stage carbon filter and, ideally, UV sterilization. Plan for that cost before you build a drinking water system. Second, your state's current laws matter. Most states allow collection freely or actively encourage it with tax incentives. A small number require registration. Check your state before you build. The guide in our description covers each state in plain language. Third, your roof material matters. Standard asphalt shingles are fine for non-potable collection. Wood shingles, copper gutters, and lead-based flashing can leach contaminants into your collected water. Know what your roof is made of. Now here's how to build the basic system. You need 4 things: a 55-gallon food-grade barrel, a Y connector fitting for 3-inch PVC pipe, a 4-foot section of 3-inch PVC pipe for the first flush chamber, and 1 rubber ball slightly larger than the pipe's inner diameter. Cut your downspout at shoulder height. Attach the Y connector. One branch of the Y continues down to your normal drainage path. The other branch feeds into the vertical first flush pipe. Drop the rubber ball into the pipe. Drill 1 hole 1/16 of an inch across through the bottom cap to allow slow drainage between rains. When rain begins, the first dirty water fills the vertical pipe. The ball rises with it. It seats against the inlet and seals. From that point forward, all clean water diverts into your collection barrel. Total cost for the diverter: $2.40 in standard PVC fittings. And a used food-grade barrel runs between $15 and $30 at most farm supply stores. Total system cost under $40. A family outside Millersburg, Ohio, built this setup across 3 downspouts. On a single Saturday, their combined barrel capacity was 165 gallons. In the spring months of April through June alone, they collected 820 gallons of water. Their outdoor water use for that entire period cost them nothing. Their neighbor paid $63 a month to the utility for the same purpose. A professionally installed system of the same capacity runs between $2,000 and $4,000 when a licensed plumber does the work. $40, $2,000. Same rain, same water, our grandparents knew. The people of the Indus Valley, 2,000 years before Christ knew. The Romans, running terracotta pipes from every rooftop in Pompeii, knew. The Mayan builders of those hand-cut limestone chambers knew. Penn State University confirmed it in print. The University of North Carolina published the water rights law around it. And American Water Works charges $42 billion to build an industry around routing that knowledge away from your family. But now, your family knows. Jacob Yoder fills his barrel on Tuesday mornings. His water bill is $0. His garden does not know what a rate increase is. His chickens do not care about state registration requirements. If this is useful to someone you know, share it. Every share keeps this knowledge where it belongs, with the people who need water, not the companies who need revenue. Next week, we will show you how the same communities built root cellars that held food at exactly 32 to 40 degrees for 9 months of the year, with no electricity, no refrigeration, and no monthly bill. The engineering inside those earthen walls has not changed in 2,000 years. We will see you there.